Welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. Alright, I guess it's time to step back into the land of the living.
Fine.
Where did he fall from? His body smashed to talc. It's a wonder he's still breathing.
All I saw was the corona, not his origin point. But look, he's healing already. Spontaneous regeneration.
Why did they fall down? What was that? What did you do, Callistege? 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 I'm gonna go with Callistege. I don't know if that's correct, but that's how I'm gonna roll. His tone has become accusatory, suspicious. You open your eyes. The first thing you notice is this man's kaleidoscopic tattoos writhing across his forearms. He wears a long dark coat, belted at the waist, supplies filling in the pockets. His boots are worn and stained with years of travel. You blame me. He emitted an internal psychological reaction in response to the fall, probably related to that fantastic healing process. Obviously, Aligern. Her voice rolls and hisses, and you have to rub your eyes to be sure that you're not seeing double. Faint echoes of her actions trail from her, each nearly mimicking her, though some act and react to stimuli that you can't perceive. Her vivid hair and outrageous clothing remain constant through these shadows. Oh yes, it's obvious, Callistege. His voice is grim and clipped. Then he sees you looking at him. You're no ordinary mortal. We know that much. Start talking. His face is hard and set. Scan thoughts. He's the changing god. Callistege is deliberately blinding herself. But why? Where am I? How did I get here? You built the dome. Don't you recognize it? He growls. You know, he's not the changing god, Aligern. Aligern's being more paranoid than usual. How long must I put up with him? So that's what she's thinking. Alright. So Aligern thinks I'm the changing god, which I'm a cast-off, so I was once the changing god, but no longer. It's his face. I've never seen any other people rebuild themselves like that. Only the changing god could have healed so quickly. He sighs and rubs his face, trying to regain his composure. Maybe you could help me for a change. You know what this means to me. You're familiar with the word changing, Aligern. It implies inconstancy. Thus, the changing god may well have changed. So, several visions of her shrug. She addresses you. You'll have to forgive him. He believes you're someone he once knew, even though it's painfully obvious to anyone that you are newly born. Her most solid self curtsies, while others bow or spin. I, and my sisters, am Callistege. This is Aligern. We are explorers, knowledge seekers. That's how we came to be in this room. If I'm not mistaken, you are what we call a cast-off. The changing god created you, body and mind. Your sire used your body for a time, then abandoned it for reasons of his own. When his mind departed for a new experience, you were born in his cast-off shell. So you say I was born when the changing god left, but why am I not dead? I used the cipher to slow your fall further, but the damage still would have killed an ordinary person. But think about it. If you're the kind of person who can make your body into anything you want, what do? If you've constructed bodies for centuries, you want to make each one better than the last. You want to live forever. You're not going to let your life end by accident. No, you'll make strong bodies, fast, powerful. Maybe throw in a regeneration while you're at it. Man, I got the hookup. The changing god has always been vain. He rarely stays long in a shell that doesn't suit his self-image. She looks you up and down, her smile suddenly unnerving. Perhaps the changing god fled because he didn't want to wear those scars of yours. What was that blast of energy when I woke? As I was telling my colleague, it was obviously a physiological reaction of some kind. I've never witnessed the birth of a cast-off, but yes, it could very well have been caused by your nascent consciousness. Don't worry, I don't believe you caused any real harm. Not to me, at least. Really? You've been more abrasive than ever since we came in here. He shoots her a sidelong look. She just can't empathize with other people unless she's experimenting on them. Are you sure the surge didn't hurt you? If it did, it was damage in her mind. Though how you check if I carved her, I couldn't say. Though tough to find normalcy there. At least we know it didn't hurt Aligern. That skull's as thick as organic stone. If the changing god abandoned my body, where is he now? If he abandoned your body, then his consciousness fled to another. He eyes you keenly. Oh, do stop. The look she gives Aligern is equally piercing, amplified by the withering glares of her sisters. If there's one thing we know about the changing god, dear, it's that he always has a contingency. This child was born here. The object of your obsession will have been reborn somewhere else. How can you be sure this body's a cast-off? You mean aside from your miraculous reformation? For one thing, there's your tattoo. All cast-offs have one, though its purpose is beyond me. And then, of course, there's your delicious naivete. You could be faking it. You don't live hundreds of years while learning to lie convincingly. Ofer! She sighs in exasperation and says to you, what do you think? Are you a newborn child? Or are you a powerful immortal whom death has robbed of his memories? Aligern crosses his arms and growls, fine. What do you think? This should be interesting. There's so much I don't know or remember. I think I must be a cast-off. He's non-committal, but it's clear that he doesn't believe you. Do you not remember sparking the endless battle? Do you not remember leading Saga's cliffs against the Tabat when they came to slaughter us centuries ago? His voice trembles a little, but he retains an iron control over his face. Do you truly not remember me? She laughs scornfully. Even if he were the changing god, you're not likely to trick him with simplistic questions like that. You should help him, guide him, one way or another. It's the wisest path. At least it's the way I think is best, Aligern. Her smile drips of venom. He looks away, and his composure slips a little. Gods, You're so rancid sometimes, Callistege. Do you know anything about the tides? I've heard the term before, a subject your sire studied in great depth. I'm afraid it isn't my field of inquiry. Let's go on to some different topics. Of course, child, you must be so disoriented. Where are we? What is this place? The sanctum of your sires. The common belief is he has several such places throughout the Ninth World, possibly other worlds as well. We were only just able to gain entry to this one because of your grand entrance. Who is the changing god? Ha! That's something coming from you. She gives him a sidelong glance. The changing god is your sire, dear. He discovered a path to immortality long ago, and means to transfer himself to a new body of his own creation. I don't think he knew, however, that when he abandoned one body, another mind was birthed to fill the void. Oh, he knew all right. He eyes you up and down coldly. The only thing the changing god cares about is himself. He doesn't give a single thought for those he leaves behind. He sees us as experiments, not humans. Are there other cast-offs? Dozens, hundreds, who's to say? Your sire has been doing this for several centuries. Though if all of them were born the way you claim to have been, it's a wonder any of them survived. Why do you seem to hate the changing god so much? The ghost of a smile touches his mouth, as if he's privy to a joke, but it doesn't reach his hard eyes. He's lived longer than anyone in the Ninth World. Hasn't been much of a philanthropist in all that time. He's helped some people, sure, but it's always been in his own self-interest. He's gotten away with a load of skist over the years. If falling from the sky didn't kill me, is there anything that can? An excellent question. I haven't seen your regenerative abilities in action. I suspect they are primarily physical, a regrowth. If that's the case, you'd be unable to survive most varieties of psychic or molecular decomposition, disintegration, conflagration, and so forth. Degenerative diseases can pose a problem, and I know of several entities capable of psychic destruction. Well, that's reassuring. As she speaks, a vision flashes into your mind. It's not yours. Exactly. Somehow, you know this is a memory of the changing gods. You are in a dark room, lit by a myriad of blinking lights and holograms from the many machines surrounding you. What about a body that can withstand the sorrow's attacks? Says a voice. It seems to be coming from one of the machines. No, you reply. The thing has no respect for barriers of any kind, physical, temporal, psychic. This is the only way. In a series of gestures, you bring up an image of a crystalline pod. If the resonant chamber works, it will give us the power to stop the sorrow's hunt once and for all. We just need the right focal point, a catalyst. The memory fades. Callistege is still talking. You realize that the device you saw in the memory is identical to the one behind you now. It looks just like the Spectre had described it, a transparent sarcophagus inside a crystalline dome, with mechanical arms right around it, and a metal ring. Unfortunately, the dome is shattered, the sarcophagus is cracked, and one of the arms is in pieces on the floor. Whatever its function, it clearly needs repair. Or flesh-eating viruses. One presumes disfigurement by the iron wind could likewise be devastating enough too. I think he gets the point, Callistege. No, I'm not going to share this with them. It's not that I don't want to be honest with these people, but I just met them. And I know nothing about them. So let's keep that a little bit to myself for now. Do either of you know anything about the sorrow? I've had my share of sorrows, but never the sorrow. What's that? A disease? Her mouth compresses in a tight line. I know nothing about it. Do either of you know how to fix that crystal chamber there?
I'll remember that.
Aligern chuckles. Then, firm and certain, he says. Not likely, though it might not be impossible. Need people with the appropriate knowledge. I'm sure the cult of changing God will hold the answer. Her distaste is evident in the expression of her echoes, although the face of the one in the lead remains carefully impassive. You turn to the insane to help a newborn? Where's your judgment, Aligern? I would take him to the Order of Truth. The Order of Truth? Are you mad? They would sooner take us apart. What's the cult of the changing God? Despite what she says, they're not insane. They're eccentrics. She laughs, but he soldiers on. They're worshippers of you, or your sire, the changing God. They devote their lives to understanding your kind. What's the Order of Truth? Knowledge seekers, the learned who try to wrest secrets from the hearts of the prior worlds. They gather in the city to exchange their findings and help humanity to build a brighter future. She smiles brightly. Our friend Aligern here was once one of them. Frauds, quacksalvers, and charlatans. They don't have all the answers, and I'd not trust them with the changing God's secrets. You're just angry that they couldn't help you with yours. Her echoes tinkle laughter. But I am being too cruel, dear Aligern. Let us take our new friend to the Order. I'm not going to either group right now. Just from the very, 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 very little that I know about these groups, the Cult of the Changing Gods seems like the more appropriate answer here, just because they might help me learn about myself too. On the other hand, they might become kind of attached to me, and I don't know, a little bit weird. The fact that I'm a cast-off at first might be an advantage with them, but it might become a hindrance later, as they try to meddle in my affairs. And that Order of Truth, well, I mean, on one hand, independent researchers into the old. On the other hand, Aligern isn't very impressed with him. I don't know. I don't think it's time for me to make a decision yet. Thank you for your help, but I'll figure this out on my own. Hold on. I'll come with you. Wouldn't want you getting lost, would you? Suspicious as always, Aligern. Child, the world is an exciting place, but it is full of dangers. Rest assured, one of us will get you safely to where you need to be. I'll be right behind you. A sunny smile crosses her face. I shudder to think what Aligern might do to the child. Alright then, let's go. You've gained your first companions. They will follow the last cast-off and can be controlled during a crisis. You can speak to them about their pasts and take advantage of their unique abilities and skills. Companions have their own motivations and personalities, and depending on the choices you make, they may not follow you forever. You will find more companions who can join you as you travel throughout the Ninth World. Take this opportunity to explore your surroundings. You may find items, equipment, and more to assist you. When you are ready, you can leave the broken dome using the stairs to the northeast. Alright, so she's clearly a nano. And looks like he's a jack.
On my way.
Man, that is a cool ass looking dome. Wow, even zoomed in all the way. The art in here looks fantastic. Made a real good job on this.
Let's go.
A mechanical arm lies on the floor, presumably broken during your fall. Sparks pour from the arm's shattered housing, filling the air with a greasy stench. Ooh. Ah. Quick fingers. Nice. And lore machinery. Well, I don't have lore machinery, but I do have quick fingers. I believe. Let me see what... Hold on. Before I do anything.
All right.
See, character sheet. Abilities. No, I don't have. I do have quick fingers. Good. All right. I don't have lore mechanical, but I have quick fingers, so I can give this a shot.
Now.
They can assist the glass cast-off with some challenges. Your companion's stat pools are used instead of your own, and they may have different skills, abilities, and statistics that make the challenge easier. Companions cannot assist in the crisis and can only use their stats during their turn. Okay. Okay, so this is a speed. None of us has high speed. This guy's terrible speed. Taking care to avoid the sparks, you extract several handfuls of shiny trinkets and coin-like objects. You recognize their value at once. Such objects would be accepted as shins, the informal currency in most regions of the world. So you gather them up and take them with you. Gained item spray flesh. I'm guessing that's a heal? Yep. And 17 shins. Examine the housing. The sharply pointed apparatus that formerly topped the device appears burnt out and useless, but the equipment in the base remains at least somewhat operational. The constant stream of sizzling motes can attest. Alright, I've done everything I can with that.
All right.
Sunlight falls through the ragged hole in the roof onto the shattered resonance chamber. It is hard to believe that you did this. You plummeted through the curve of the pale blue sky, crashed through the dome, and broke this delicate machine with your own body. It is hard to believe that you are still alive. 4 mechanical arms hang over the center of the device, above the cracked, semi-transparent crystal of the sarcophagus. The 5th arm lies broken on the floor among the scattered synth and crystal shards. And the metal ring surrounds the array, dented and broken by your impact crater. The padded interior beneath the coffin's cracked lid looks like it was made for a human body. Despite the damage, you don't see any way to open it and get inside. You glance between the sarcophagus and the needle-like protrusions at the end of the arms above it. It seems like they're using this it seems likely that using this chamber would not be a pleasant experience. Cables run from machines along the dome's walls to the base of the suspended arms, each of which is capped with long needles aimed at the cracked, coffin-like chamber at the center of the platform. Gem-like lights flicker dimly at the base of the arms. You feel the slightest hint of resistance every time you cross the ring. Now that you're paying attention, you note that your breath is echoing in your ears, as though you were inside a glass dome. You step outside the ring, the feeling passes. The ring seems to project some kind of field, like a protective dome around the sarcophagus. Well, it didn't protect it from my fall. Jagged fragments of crystal are intermingled with sin from the shattered dome above. The crystal shards glitter in the light like captive suns.
All right.
Yeah, that edge scroll is a little bit too fast for my liking. I can't bring it down any lower than that. This is the slowest. Wow, what does turning it up to 2 look like? Holy shit, that's crazy fast. I wish I could turn it down. Alright. What's this, a container?
Yes.
Tensions. Encephalic Rush heals 3 points of intellect. Ooh. I could use this to bring my intellect back up to full. Don't know if I'm going to use it just yet, though. Fleetfoot Moss heals 3 points of speed. Very nice.
Ready.
A slate black, unimpressive device hunkers before you. As you reach out to touch it, the triangle of lights on its casing blazes into life, and an image unfolds in your mind. A towering crystal arch rises over a jagged gray landscape. The air is dead and stifling, and there, at its emerald peak, the image collapses, leaving you staring into the device's triangular array of lights. Command me, the device, or the intelligence within it says, each word carefully etched with distaste. Who are you? Your command was not understood, the intelligence says with clear satisfaction, sounding for all the world like it understood the question, but is choosing not to answer. Command me. What commands do you recognize? The 3 lights throb irritably, heated air sighs from the device's vents, and then a towering list of commands races through your mind. Far too fast to read. You rub your eyes, groaning, and the intelligence chortles. Command me, it says smugly. Show me that list of commands again. Slower, please. If anything, the list courses through your mind even faster than the last time. Command me, the intelligence drawls. Yeah, this is clearly mocking me at this point. Show me that arch again. The device's triangle of lights throbs in time with the growl of the engines within its casing, and the mental image unfolds once more. You see a huge crystalline arch on a jagged field. The arch is divided into rectangular cells, all of which are numbered. They appear to be transparent and empty, except at the arch's pinnacle, one cell is lit in a brilliant, pulsating emerald. The number 0 is printed on its side. Yeah, we'll stick with 80%. The memory blossoms. You stand before this arch, eyeing the last 2 active cells and once impenetrable Logan Vogue. Unleash cell 29, you say, A twisted artifact appears before you. You claim it with a faint smile, watching the light fade from the cell far above. You flinch from the memory, and it falls apart as you raise your eyes to the arch as it is now. Cell 29 is dark now. Only Cell 0 remains. Dry grit whirls across the empty plain. Many kilometers beyond the arch is the faint outline of what seems to be a broken tower, except that it's slowly stretching into the gray air. Far beyond the arch, the broken tower reaches for pale, red-threaded clouds. An indignant hum rises from the intelligence engines as you examine its ancient casing. Nothing inside the ordinary. You step back and the hum fades away. Unleash the contents of Cell 0. You found a cipher. Ciphers are Numenera objects that can trigger a powerful effect that can only be used once. Consumables. Ciphers and your cipher limit score are displayed in a special section of the inventory screen. Take care not to accumulate more ciphers than your cipher limit, or you will experience unpleasant side effects. Unstable detonation. So it's a grenade, basically. Okay. Interesting that a cast-off can command the changing god's machines. He crosses his arms across his chest. How'd you do that? Callistege rolls her eyes at Aligern. Then she looks to you. You'll never stop gnawing on this bone, you know. The truth is wasted on him. She gets a glint in her eye. Though I admit curiosity. How did you do that? I remembered something. I don't think it was my memory, though. I'm not gonna lie to them. I wouldn't have volunteered this information, but they clearly, you know, are like, whoa, something's up here. And I'm not gonna lie to them. Residual memories of a past consciousness. Truly fascinating. How many memories might this child have access to? I must know. Oh, don't act like you know what that was. It's just as likely the machine triggered something past his amnesia. She gives you a meaningful look, then mimics teeth gnashing like an animal gnawing a bone. Look, Callistege, we're on the same wavelength. We're both nanos here. Alright, I think I've done everything I can with that machine for now.
We shall see.
Tiny glowing motes float around the interior of this tower. Each one is surrounded by much smaller motes, like thousands of worlds circling their suns.
Doing it now.
The flexible tubes that are attached to this machine appear to be later additions. Someone cobbled the device together, but its function is unclear.
Done.
Man, I wish I could lower this edge scroll. Can I scroll with the, okay, I can scroll with the keyboard, but that goes too fast too. Damn it. Maybe, between games, maybe I'll mess with an INI file and see if I could lower like camera speed to like 0.05 or something.
I'm ready.
I mean, fully zoomed out, it's not too bad, but when you're zoomed in, it's way too fast. And I like being zoomed in because the game looks great.
Allow me. Of course.
I think I've fiddled with everything in here, but I'll give it another once over. I mean, I'm sure I could always come back here, but still.
Yes.
Alright, so that's everything in here.
As you wish.
Okay, in that case... Broken Dome's a good enough descriptor. We'll leave off here, and then we'll leave the dome and see what's out in the outside world next time.